Today we're building one of my favorite cars, the 1968 McLaren M8a. This is a newly released Tamiya kit that's a retooling of an old motorized M8 that they produced back in the early 70s. I suppose if you wanted to, you could actually turn it into a remote control vehicle. Take a little work, but it'd be kind of cool. Anyways, I sort of started this kit before this video was made. Built the engine and stripped the chrome from some of the parts. The cool part is there's only 12 steps. You can see that the chassis still has all the spots for the motorized components, battery slots, switches, and motor mounts. We're going to disregard all of this. Yeah, the bottom's not going to look perfect, but who cares? When it's on your shelf, it'll look great. The body's molded in sort of a McLaren orange, but it's a little dark. The engine's simple, but actually with some detailing, you'll see it turns out pretty good. There's so few parts that I just cut them all from the sprue and put them into a big pile. The body required very little cleanup. There was a few mold lines, and if you were being totally fussy, there was a couple of spots that you could use some filler. As I mentioned earlier, the chrome plating was removed from some of the parts. I'll respray these with black lacquer, followed by all-clad chrome. We're just going to make the bottom of the chassis as decent as we can. Weirdly, there's this rubber part. First, I couldn't quite figure it out, but what it is a friction mechanism for the steering so that you can set the wheels to any position you want and they'll stay. It's particularly important for the motorized version. The front suspension leaves a lot to be desired, but I figured, hey, it's going to be mostly covered up anyways. Everything was primed with Tamiya's white primer. To make the McLaren color, you can simply mix X8 and X6 from Tamiya. Color's pretty darn close to perfect. Mix it in equal parts. I had some spatter from my airbrush, So we're going to need to wet sand that out. Here I'm using 1000 grit sanding film and a little water. The velocity stacks were sprayed with all-clad chrome. Once the driver's arm was positioned, I filled the gap with a little Tamiya white putty. The exhaust system was a little fiddly, but actually turned out fairly decently. It was painted with all-clad chrome as well, and the ends of the exhaust tubes were weathered with some Tamiya pastels.